Hey, Coach, I'm so happy you found us on YouTube. Make sure you go over and subscribe and like, go down below, hit the bell up above if you want to make sure you get anything else coming. Also, make sure you go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. If you're looking to become a better basketball coach, if you're looking to take it to the next level, that's why I started it, to help you become a better basketball coach. And if you're looking to take it to the next level and get full season access, you're looking for our complete library, you're looking for 2 memberships and my full library, go over to hit wintheseason.com. You can get teachhoops.com. You can get full season access, everything we do in our program that has made us one of the top programs in the country. And then you get my full library with the funnel down defense, rule of 3 offense, everything you would want. Go over and check it out, wintheseason.com, and have a great day. We're laughing as we're coming on, because today's topic for the Basketball Leadership Podcast is the 10 mistakes leaders make. And I was teasing and going, oh, it could be like 50 mistakes. It's like,
and this is really team leaders.
right.
But I think you could apply it to leadership in general. I mean, these go hand in hand. So I'll go through them pretty quick. Obviously, there's 10 of them. Actually, I have 11.
Okay, we'll go 11.
We'll go 11. Number one is the positional leadership mindset. I mean, especially with high school, this is an issue where they think that getting the title of being a captain, gives them this power. And so many people think leadership is about position, and in reality, leadership has nothing to do with position. Leadership is about influence, and it's about relationships. And unfortunately, when kids have or anyone has a positional leadership mindset, it can be a disaster for a team, because they basically think they have power over people that they don't, and it creates a lot of issues.
Yes.
Number two is thinking the job is over once you're selected. So sometimes kids, get into a leadership role and they've done a lot of work to kind of get there, and then it's kind of in the same vein as the positional leadership, but that's when the work starts. Because the reality is when you become a leader on a team, you really need to have a servant leadership approach. You have to understand that it's no longer about me anymore. When you're a leader, it's about us and we, and you really have to think of it that way. And that's sometimes a hard switch for kids to flip.
It is. Yes. Keep going, Coach. Let's go
number
through
3,
these.
not confronting issues. We've talked about this a lot.
Yes.
As a coach, you need to confront issues, but we also don't know all the issues that are going on behind the scenes, the locker room, outside of school. And this is where you really need your team leaders to be that gatekeeper of your culture and to confront things. And if they can't confront them, they got to let you know, because when you do not confront issues, they're going to kill your team in the end. And so that's a mistake that's common, that's often made. You ever had that happen, Coach?
Multiple times. And the thing is, it will it's like a slow burn too. It's like it's not an overnight thing. It's and it
shows up at the end of the season, and it turns into something bigger, and you're like, dang.
Yep. And early in my career, you definitely I tend to know this. Again, it's weird because as you've done this longer, you tend to see the signs. I tend to see them, so I can it's like the smoldering ambers in a fire. Like I can smell it, I can see it, and it's like, ooh, I better go get a bucket of water and pour it on this thing, because otherwise it's going to be,
that's the art of coaching, and that takes time.
It does. Sure. It does.
The fourth one, I think, is the hardest for high school kids, and that's succumbing to peer pressure. It's so hard when you've grown up with these kids your whole life to all of a sudden be put in a leadership role and hold teammates accountable. We've talked about this before, but it's really, really hard. And that's why I think leadership at the high school level, when you get good ones, it makes a good team really, really good.
Really good. Yes. Really good.
It's hard to do.
And it's best when it's your best player. I'm convinced. It's not. I think it's less than half the time is your best leader, your best player. But when it is your best player, it can. it can
We
help.
all think, too many people think it should always be your best player,
No,
but I think the research I've read and heard about, it's like 20% of the time your
20.
best player is your best leader.
Yeah, I
Um,
agree.
so, you know, allowing negativity to build behind the scenes, kind of similar to not confronting issues. If you allow that, that can really hurt a team in the long run. Entitlements due to your position, that similar to positional leadership mindset. Not being one of the hardest workers in the room. You know, your leaders have to be one of the top 2, 3 hardest workers. They have to lead by example. And when they don't, that really can backfire with the team. And so that's something we talk about in the team leader checklist. Poor choices, you know, in reference to leading by example, you got to make good choices outside of your sport as well, whether that's in school, whether that's in social situations. It's really you can't lead other people if you're not making those right choices. Talking poorly of teammates or coaches is a mistake that anyone can make, but when team leaders start bad mouthing a coach's decision or bad mouthing a teammate, oh, that's devastating for a team. These are the conversations we have to have with kids, you know, before they become a leader, so they know what these expectations are.
Right. I see
Um,
that. I see that in schools as a teacher too. And it's like the issue is if I have something to say, I'm just going to go say it to you. Like if you're
yeah,
my admin, I'm just like whatever. I'm not going to say it to the person next in the room next to me. It's like I'm going to you. Like,
I know.
and it's that negative. You can just feel it sometimes growing, and it's like, oh, okay. And sometimes you'll say, I don't have that control. And I said, well, then who does have the control to take care of? I'll give you an example. It's like I got new windows put in my room. I'd never had windows.
Yeah.
And because we're under construction, they're redoing the school. So I didn't have windows ever. So 2 years ago, I got windows and I faced directly toward the sun. So they put blinds in, and it was fine at the beginning of the school year. But if you know anything about how the sun works, it gets
Yeah.
lower.
Yeah.
It gets, and I'm on the second floor, and it gets lower until yesterday, until the middle
Yeah.
of December. And kids were being blinded. So they brought in shades. They didn't work. They put the wrong ones in. And like I could complain to everybody. I went to the people that were gonna like, you need to fix this.
Yep.
And eventually I went down during the day and grabbed one of them and said, sit in this chair. And they
Yeah.
go, oh, this is wrong. I go, yes, I'm not complaining to complain. I'm complaining because the student, like, and they still didn't, they put in better ones. They didn't put, anyway, it's
Yeah.
better. But it's like, you go to the source. And that's what I tell them, my players. It's like, don't, if you're like, got something to say, come say it to me. I'm not going to hold it
Yeah.
against you or your teammate. Go say it. Like, you're not working hard.
It's
Those are
such a
hard.
life
Yes,
skill.
it
I
is.
mean, you see it with adults all the time too. And I see it in my role all the time with adults. It's
Yeah,
just sad.
it
Like,
is.
just go have a conversation with the person involved. I hate flock shooting on that note. You know, 1 or 2 people are doing something and we're going to send a mass email out to
Right.
everybody. No, deal with the issue, deal with the incident, deal with the person.
Yes.
And that applies to coaching as well.
Yes.
And then the last 2 are, I think, real important ones. Not celebrating all roles on a team. Team leaders need to celebrate that last guy, that might get in the
Yep.
game on a bench and their role as much as, that leading scorer. That's so important for team leaders. It's a mistake they can often make. And then lastly, same thing with coaches. And I think team leaders need to have this too, but you know what? Don't take credit for wins and put blame on the losses. Maybe do the other approach,
Right.
give it to the team on the wins and own it a little bit more yourself on the losses.
Yes. And
Um,
as a coach, you have to do that. Like,
you do. And
I'll take this one. I got this one. This was me, whatever. It's like, okay.
when you're a team leader, best players getting interviewed after a game, and I have these conversations with ours before the game, or I'm sorry, before the interview. I'll grab them aside and I'll say, hey, remember, it's all about team on the win. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yep.
Because those reporters, they try to bait them into
They
talking about them as a
do. They do.
kid.
It's like they're 16. Stop
I
it.
know. And you
Stop
got to
it.
train. So you got to train your kids
You
to
do.
how to do that. And that's really what this is all about. So there's 11 quick things we went through, mistakes that team leaders can make that I think are all important reminders to have with your team leaders.
I do. I do. All right. Till next week, coach.
All right. See ya.
Hey, coach, I hope you like this. Make sure you go over and check out Teachhoops. Make sure you subscribe and like. Make sure you go over, leave some comments if you have any questions or anything like that. I'm here to help. I'm here to serve. Go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. The one-stop membership for everything that you would need. And if you're looking to take it to the next level, you're looking for a mentor, you're looking for my own boxer, you're looking for everything, my library, everything that's included, go to winthisseason.com. Talk to you soon.